The table of grace, the significance of the Last Supper. It was the night before everything changed. Jerusalem was thick with tension, and whispers of betrayal lingered in the shadows. Yet, in a quiet upper room, away from the noise of the city and the schemes of men, Jesus sat at a table with his closest friends. The Last Supper wasn't just a meal, it was a divine moment, the beginning of a new covenant, rich with meaning and overflowing with blessing. The table was simple, yet the weight of eternity rested upon it. As the bread was broken, Jesus said, "This is my body, given for you." It was not just bread anymore, it was the symbol of sacrifice. A foretaste of the cross. In that moment, he gave them something far deeper than nourishment, he gave them himself. The blessing in the bread was this: Jesus would be broken so we could be made whole. Then he lifted the cup and declared, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, poured out for many." A covenant not written in stone, but in love. Not sealed with tradition, but with grace. This cup represented forgiveness, restoration, and eternal connection to God. The blood that would be shed was not the end, it was the beginning of a new relationship, not based on law, but on love. And then, perhaps most surprising of all, Jesus knelt to wash their feet. The Son of God became the servant of all. In doing so, he taught them that greatness in the kingdom is not about position, but posture. The blessing of humility was poured out in water and wrapped in a towel. But there was another quiet blessing at that table, the blessing of inclusion. Jesus shared that sacred meal not only with Peter who would deny him, but with Judas who would betray him. He offered love to the faithful and the faltering alike. His table made room for weakness, brokenness, and even sin, because his grace was greater. The Last Supper was a preview of heaven's table, where all who believe are invited to come, eat, remember, and be made new. So when we come to the table today, whether in a church pew or in the quiet of our own hearts, we don't just eat bread and drink wine. We receive again the blessings of the Last Supper. The body that heals our brokenness. The blood that cleanses our sins. The humility that makes us whole. The love that never lets go. The Last Supper was not the end. It was the beginning of a kingdom born in sacrifice, lived out in service, and sealed by grace. And every time we remember it, we proclaim this truth. At Jesus' table, there is always room. And there is always blessing. Like, share, follow, subscribe and comment.